everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at Brick Live Birmingham in England, and it is about 9 a.m. here in Birmingham, and I'm about to start a tour of the whole convention floor for you guys. So we're going to head this direction and go over to the area where all of the mocks are set up and where all of the builders have their stuff on display. And something you'll notice at this show, and I'll talk about this as we do the tour of the convention hall, is that there's less focus on the mocks here and more focus on kind of building activities for kids and video game areas and things of that nature. So you'll see a lot of that kind of stuff throughout the tour, but there are still a lot of really great mocks that we're going to show you. So we're going to start off right here. And for those of you who aren't familiar, I should clarify that mock stands for my own creation, and that's usually what a builder calls their build that they've worked on that doesn't include instructions or anything like that. So we'll start right here at this corner of the builds and then kind of work our way around, and I'll do my best to show you everything that's on display. So here we start with some Dungeons and Dragons builds. So this is kind of a board game type creation that this builder has done with some medieval Lego stuff here, and they've got, you know, Dungeons and Dragons kind of player's handbook and stuff. So they've got books and things back there. Some cool stuff there. It looks like this is all kind of part of that display. There's little squares, if you can see them, they're black lines that make squares on the boards, and so that's how the game is played all along there. Keep coming along. There's some really cool game setups set up along here with the modular shrine system and everything. And then right here, you can see there's even a builder at work back there. What do you have going on here?
It's Saltburn Pier in Redcar on Teesside, and it's on permanent display at Kirkleatham Museum. But it's a representation of the pier. Obviously, these are the pictures of it here. The actual.
Okay, that's neat. So this is a recreation then of a real pier then?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's a great job. It looks just like the photos there. Very cool. So keep moving down this direction, and we've got some classic pirates here. You can see some of the inspiration there on the left for this build. So a couple of great ships here. Old style base plate in the back with a Imperial fort build on it. Really neat stuff there. You can see kind of the parts dumping technique for the blue studs to make the water. Here we have Kevin Hall, who is a brick artist, and we'll show you some more of his work later. He did this 365 things to do with Lego bricks, and this is kind of a build-a-day book that he worked on. And so this is a selection of builds that you can work on every day from his book. And there's all sorts of different shapes and everything. Really cool stuff. There's a modular horse there, so you can make it a unicorn. It can be a horse or something. It's an interesting build. This one here is kind of a Friends-themed picture frame castle. Cool stuff there. And then right here is another neat one. This is like an 8-bit flower. So that was Kevin Hall's work there. Really neat stuff. And then down along here we've got, this is an interesting builder who did some cool stuff here, where he takes some of the Lego ideas sets and kind of recreates them in different colors. So in the back there, you can see the Mars rover he made in red, because it is the red planet. Then you've got the DeLorean there, and then Wall-E in red and blue with like the fire colors there. So that's an interesting idea, kind of some cool stuff he's been working on there. Then you come back around here, and you see this is all Batman related stuff, and there's some really cool artwork here. This is really interesting stuff. This sort of large frame right here is full of different Lego variations of Batman over the years and all the different designs that Lego has released with him. Then down here you've got several different characters like Supergirl. I think you've got the Rocketeer on the left there, I believe. The Flash right there. I think this might be Scarecrow right there next to him. Wonder Woman. So all sorts of cool characters along here. Then they've got an expanded Lego Arkham Asylum here to go with all of their various illustrations. So that's really cool stuff along there. Very, very good job kind of using the illustrations to add to the build. Here's a nice line of mosaics, and this is done by, this is a depiction of 6 iconic rock/pop stars of the last half century. That's what the mock card says here. So you can see some really neat ones along there. I think we might have like Adele there with Skyfall. So really, really good mosaics there as well. So we keep moving down this direction. Some cool kind of Lego City layouts here. It's really interesting stuff. You can see a lot of cool car designs here, along with some interesting types of building designs, especially these buildings here. You look at the kind of cone shape on the front of that one building. There's all sorts of interesting design techniques used there. Then it looks like they have you got Keep on Bricking YouTube hashtag there. I think we need to point that out. Good YouTube hashtag. Coming along here, this is the exploration ship and base, which is really neat. There's a massive ship in the background there, if you can see it, next to this kind of wharf here with the big dock. It looks like they've got some big military power coming in here. Maybe some of the higher up commanders coming in to check out the large exploration ship along here. And then right here we've got the Time Cruiser's headquarters. So this is very cool as well. You got a kind of a nice dock there with an interesting car, like a helicopter car. And then really nice beach work as well, with the way they built up the sand and everything there. Very good job. Then the last build on this area, the Happy Kitchen down here. This is kind of a recreation. Lots of little details in there with the minifigs eating and everything. They even have a slide down into their kitchen.
It was actually done by a little daughter, so the father was here representing it.
Okay, so this is kind of the girls' dream kitchen, sort of, right here. All of the good stuff happening in the kitchen. Very cool. Thank you. So then we'll move back around here, hit some more of these built. Looks like we've got a couple of the builders right here. And we'll get, this is a cool train layout here. So if you don't mind, what's going on with this train layout, if you can tell us real quick?
Hey, yeah, morning. So this is all about giving the children a chance to have a drive with trains. So we've got a nice layout here, lots of fun things that children can actually see and go and build at home, and they also get to drive some trains. So yeah, this is the fun part. Some of the children we speak to, they've never actually seen Lego trains. Some of them have certainly never driven them. So for them, yeah, this is really great fun. They get to have a go.
Okay, very neat. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, some cool Lego train layouts here then. So we'll come down here then. Here's another Lego-related or Lego train-related display. You can see the massive kind of glass arched buildings there for the train station. So we'll come down this direction. It looks like it's been featured in Bricks there, one of the Lego magazines. So come down here, look at all these the clear windows here, massive amount of clear windows. This was built by Jamie Douglas. So great job with this build. This is amazing. All of the clear windows used to make these arches for the train station. Over here on the display, we've got more of the fields, kind of some farm going on, a lot of different vehicles. You can see some large windmills. So this is definitely more of your traditional train display. And this is something you see a lot of at shows in the U.S., particularly shows like Brick World Chicago. And they definitely represent here as well as too. So cool stuff here. Around here it looks like they have a train running as well. Very cool. How is this working out for you right now?
Not very well, because this is just detached from the rest of the train. Other than that, I've got to get all the trains working, because we're just open to the public. So
okay, so the public has just started coming in here, so you might see some more people walking around here. I hope the train works out for you quickly. Down here we've got an interesting case. So this is a whole setup of minifigs. This is kind of a almost minifigure history display, because there's thousands and thousands of minifigures on display here from many different years all along here. And there's one that many people might be aware of, the Mr. Gold right there towards the top. Very famous minifigure that not many of those were made. So there's a Mr. Gold there. Up top, you can see some of the Friends figures over here, so that's some cool stuff. And they just have a variety of everything. You've got castle, space, city workers, the collectible minifigs, whatever you can imagine here. Oh, there's one of the ghost figures from, I think, some of the old castle medieval sets. And then here we get into some of the older stuff, maybe Fabuland, maybe old Duplo type of stuff here. all these cool minifigs on display. Down here, here's some of the older Bionicle, sort of minifig size Bionicle guys. Then you get to some of the larger type figs. These are like Bionicle, but you got Star Wars figs and other type of stuff. I think that might be like Ben 10, or I think was the theme for those down there. And then here's some more Duplo. A bunch of this is Duplo along here. So you might remember from your childhood, if you had any Duplo growing up, a lot of those might bring back some memories. Then stuff down here, we've got some cool dolls and everything. So all these dolls along here. And then at the end, we finish out with some of the larger, there's some like power miners type of monsters and rock monsters and stuff they have in there. Some of the medieval trolls, and then some more Duplo here at the end. So that's kind of a minifig history sort of display there. So then we'll come down the other side of that and point out to this side over here real quick. There's Warren Elsmore's booth, one of the directors of the convention here. He has a bunch of books that he has written, so he sells those here and puts them on display for people to check out, and some of the builds that are inspired by the books. So there's some neat stuff over here as well. And then down here we have the other side of this minifig display, so some more really cool minifigs you can see all along here. And then we'll move on to some more of the builds. Now here is something you might recognize, the new Lego Caterham set. So this is obviously not the Lego set right here, but this is a real version of the car. So this is the entire car they have brought in here. And really neat stuff. So you can see that car on display, and then over here is on the table is the actual car, that the Lego kit of it, and you can see the instructions set out. The car's torn down a little bit so you can see what the inside looks like. So that's one of the newer Lego Ideas sets there. Very cool stuff. Down here, a couple of really awesome planes. I think we have the builder right here. If you don't mind just sharing a few quick words on what these two planes are real quick.
It's F-14A Tomcat and an F-4J Phantom, both 1/15 scale.
Okay, very cool. Thank you. So yeah, some great planes here as well on display. These are very impressive. A lot of great detail on these, and we'll definitely be bringing you some more in-depth videos on these builds here. And then keep coming down this direction. We've got kind of carnival fair type rides here, it looks like. So some cool lights and stuff going on there. This is a traveling fairground is what the builder calls this. You can see some of the modulars in the background there, and then some more of the rides and everything. And then all sorts of cool rides designed here. It looks like bumper cars down at the end as well. I like this little build to the left here is a little bounce house. You can see they use like the trans clear pieces to get them up in the air and everything, so that's cool. It's like a bounce house. Then move down this direction. So I mentioned Kevin Hall earlier with his book builds. This is another build he's done, which is an incredible, it's like 7 feet tall Lego Beauty and the Beast castle. And this thing is amazing. There's so much awesome detail on the roof tiles and everything. And then all of the windows and everything in there is just really amazing. So did an amazing job with this. There's even a mosaic built by his wife over here, Brenda, to go along with it. So this is the new Disney Beauty and the Beast logo from, I believe, a new movie coming out. So this is just incredible, and we'll definitely have a more in-depth video on this build for you as well. Down here we've got a soccer stadium going on here, and it looks like it even uses some of the old Lego kind of soccer kits and men. So you can see that it's kind of a playable thing there with all the different green kind of bases that were used, and then some cool stands built up around there. So all the different minifigs watching and everything. You even got some cheerleaders on the right side here. Lots of cool minifigs on display there. Here is Duplo Winnie the Pooh. So you've got even some Duplo builders involved here. playing Pooh Sticks, which I believe is one of the famous Winnie the Pooh games there. So that's really neat. And here's just a series of some smaller vignette train type builds, and then some vignette builds here. This is the 7 Ages of Lego Man, so it's kind of a vignette timeline sort of going on here. You've got here's some iconic British scenes like the Royal Guard there and everything. So lots of cool stuff on display here. Keep moving down this way and keep showing you some more of these builds. Come to a couple cool mosaics here. Star Wars on the left, and then M&M's Star Wars on the right. So you got some creative type of mosaics going on there. Here's some micro builds. So it's always neat to see Micropolis and micro builds. You've got the mountain with a waterfall here in the middle. You got a train back there, all sorts of cool stuff. So you got some futuristic space sort of almost in the back there. Really great stuff on display. There's a small Star Wars build, and then a lighthouse. I like this lighthouse. It almost, like the way they kind of build it up is really cool. Use the trans clear at the top for the light area. Kind of a really cool little build there. Pirate beach scene. Here's a great ship. This is the clearance. So the builder says this is a tall ship from the Corrington fleet. I'm a big fan of Lego ships, and I think this is a really great one. It looks like he went with kind of a plastic sails there. So that's interesting, almost like Technic type pieces. Very, very good job. Another micro scale build here. This is a sea battle. I love when builders do micro scale islands with the tiny ships. I think you can get in some really cool detail with the small pieces there. You notice how for the trees, they use what would normally be just like a small undergrowth 3-leaf piece, but in this case, because it's micro, they can use trees, so that's really neat. Along here we have kind of a whole city layout here, so that's really cool. And it looks like we've got a couple of the builders here. So did you work on this? Can you tell us a little bit about what this is?
Yeah, this is a collection of buildings from Dublin. So we have like a church down the end there with a little friends wedding. So we're kind of we don't discriminate. We have an Irish pub where we actually meet every month for our own lug. Okay. We have Cleary's, which is a big department store in Main Street in Dublin. My latest creation was a kind of a Scooby-Doo kind of themed haunted hotel, but there's a little crazy things going on in it because it actually has an inbuilt fruit machine. So when you press the button, the slots work, and if they line up, Granny gets creamed because all of these coins come out the front door. Now you'll be very lucky if you actually get lined up at this moment. I don't have a magic button that actually lines them up. There we go. Now I see now. Now, see, we don't encourage gambling. It fails more often than not.
Yes, it does. That's cool, though. So these are based off buildings in Dublin, then. That's really neat.
This is obviously my own. It's not a real building because it's an open roof. But what I decided was I needed something, an object with that you can see in through the roof. And what kind of an object has that with a grand piano? So with an open roof, we have a cinema screen, just a tablet just dropped into it, and it's a Lego cinema.
Wow.
Yeah, with a nightclub underneath, but you can't see that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the Scooby-Doo theme, I believe there was last night at this event. There was like a new Scooby-Doo movie that premiered. Is that correct?
That's right. We were here. We actually, some of us were fortunate enough to stay behind with the public and actually watch it. It was actually very entertaining. Okay. Of course, I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan.
Cool. Well, thanks for talking with me about that. Thank you. So very cool builds there. Keep moving down this direction. We've got the secret garden. So there's some really cool wall techniques that the builder really did a good job using the kind of brick face pieces on this to make the walls. And then lots of cool kind of foliage and stuff there as well. That's really nice. Over here we have a massive Fabuland display. So this is just incredible. Looks like we have a builder right here. So if you can tell us a little bit about what this is.
So this is Fabuland own creation. So I collected all the Fabuland sets, but I had so many loose parts and figures, I decided I can build something myself in the same style. Okay. And then it got a bit out of hand. So
So now for people who might not be familiar with what Fabuland is as a Lego theme, can you just give a quick explanation of what this is?
Yeah, so Fabuland was from the 80s. It was between Duplo and Miniland. And it contains animal figures instead of minifigs. And a lot of big pieces for houses and roofs. So children can quickly play with it. Yeah, the story of the building instructions are already a storybook. Kids can play when they build, and yeah, they have a lot of opportunities to play.
Right, that's neat. And it looks like there's a lot of really bright colors involved here. It's like reds and yellows and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it are the main primary colors. Also, the Lego sets of that era also had those colors, but in Fabuland they did it a bit more extreme. So houses are red, yellow, blue. Roofs are the same colors, cars are the same color, so almost no tan, no dark, no black, no white, no gray.
Right. Okay, so yeah, just the fun kind of brighter colors and everything. Thank you, I appreciate that. That's really neat.
Thanks.
And then over here we've got, I believe this is another Irish themed build. This is the Easter Rising. So I believe this is a depiction of the 1916 Easter Rising in Ireland here, and it looks like, okay, I think we have the builder here again.
No, one of the colleagues in Brick.ie actually built this, Paul Derrick. This is a recreation of 1916, the Easter Rising against the British forces.
Right.
At one stage, we were part of the UK.
It's a bit of a rocky relationship.
But so we have this is the recreation of the bombardment, and that's Nelson's pillar. And then they have all the recreated special troops, and there's a very detailed rear if you want to step in and see.
Take a look at this real quick. Oh yes, look at this! Wow. So it's a little bit of chaotic back here in the building.
And I'm sure that's what it was like in real life too. Yeah, I mean I really like the bandaging on the some of the guys there. I think that's probably a Batman head. Not something you'd normally see at a Lego event, but I think it's old enough ago that we get away with it.
Right, yeah, this is amazing. And I guess it'd be, the 100th anniversary of this kind of event in history this year. So, a timely build as well. That's really neat. Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for telling us about it. Very cool, yeah, and I love the minifigs on this, the train tracks running through the middle and everything. Okay, and then down here we've got the Fortress of Solitude, which many people will recognize as Superman's fortress. So you can see the Superman fig in the middle there, and the builder has done a great job using trans-clear pieces to make the kind of big ice arms sticking out of the snow and everything here. So using trans-clear and white to give that scene really good detail. Here's a brick-built Superman logo, which is really neat. And then another whole superhero build. This is Marvel versus DC. So it looks like we've got Marvel on the left and DC on the right. So you can see in the top there Iron Man and Superman. On the bottom you got Captain America, Ant-Man in the left. And then over here you've got Green Arrow, Wonder Woman, Batman, and all of that. So, the Marvel versus DC there, I'm sure that's a fight that many people have had over the years. Here's just some random rooms, so some interesting different designs. This almost reminds me of like a Clue board here, so the Clue board game, just the different Clue room designs here. Some really nice detailed flooring. I love the flooring in these builds with the using the tiles to create the different patterns. It's just a really cool technique, and it even looks like there's some in the back of this build, the kitchen build with some of those curtains there, really interesting as well. That's cool stuff. Then over here we've got a series of sculptures. So I believe these are all done by David Hughes. And so these are really interesting, this kind of different types of builds. You don't see this type of thing too often. And just really big variety. In the back there you've got some Day of the Dead skulls. So that's interesting. Here is like Swan Lake, After the Rain, the White Swan. So just kind of some cool, interesting sculptures here. So the builder did a really good job with those. So yeah, that's awesome. That finishes out this square. And then I think we'll move this direction over here and keep showing you some more of these builds. So we'll go around this whole square and keep making our way around here. So right here we have some cool monorail track, and it runs over this whole city. You can see there's several different monorails in the back there. They aren't moving right now, but I know they do run. Cool construction, kind of a parts dumping technique there to get all the construction vehicles moving the dirt and the stones and everything. Interesting little octane kind of tower there. Some cool stuff. And then the trains lead into a big station right here, full of, looks like there's several different trains in there that hauling all sorts of different cargo. And then that leads up to the fancy kind of train station right here with some really great work on the front of that building, and then out to the lawn there. Over here we have a really nice display. So you notice it says King of His Castle on the magazine there. So this is Daniel Krentz, who was a Lego designer. And as I'll just read you the beginning of this article here. It says he was probably one of the world's first adult Lego fans, and certainly the first foreign designer the Lego group ever hired. And he made the legendary Yellow Castle. So you can see right there the legendary Yellow Castle, as the article mentions. So he passed away, I believe, earlier this year. So this is a really nice tribute to him and the designs that he made. So yeah, one of those early talented designers that Lego had working for them that really helped make the company what it is today. So that's a really great tribute there. Down here, we have a big build here that's a really interesting build, and this is something that there's a really cool backstory to this, and we have a more in-depth video that we'll be sharing with you on this as well. This is a recreation of a theme park in the Netherlands, and there's all sorts of cool details in here. You can see there's lights in some of these buildings. There's a lot of different custom headpieces and everything throughout this build. There's even working water right here in the fountain in front of the pink castle. So all sorts of cool stuff throughout this whole build. And then down here you've got a book that has some of the inspiration, the real life inspiration for the build, and some of the other details from it. And even the builders even included a great mosaic in the back there that shows kind of the logo of the theme park and everything. So that's very cool. Make sure to keep moving around here. We've got some cool space stuff. Looks like the builder might even be working on it. Would you mind sharing a few words of what you've got going on here?
Yeah, of course I can. So this is an M-Tron space base. So based on one of the themes Lego did about 1991. I loved it. It was pretty much my last theme before I went into the Dark Ages. When I came out, just wanted to build some of this stuff here. So we've got it's a modular base. If I run around.
Yep. Come over here.
It's all built out of individual little modules like this, so that I can just work on it in little bits of time there for me. It means that when I come to these shows, I can rearrange the display into a completely different thing each time.
Right, that's awesome. So yeah, you can always make it a little bit different. I imagine that also helps with like tear down and setup and everything.
Exactly. I came on the train from Bedford for this, and getting all of this into a couple of boxes for the train, not that easy there, but definitely makes life easier. In the middle, one of the things I'm pretty happy with is my biodome. So that the guys can live, you've obviously got to have a biodome, transfer the carbon dioxide into oxygen there. That all closes up, so that they can all live nicely in there. Over at the back here, we've got our little chainsaw ship there, which has its nice little working...
oh yeah, so you got some working parts there, so it's kind of the mining for the stuff in the back there.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just a nice little model.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Very cool, good job. So yeah, nice M-Tron layout there. M-Tron stuff is always neat to see. The black and red colors always make those builds stand out, so very cool stuff. Coming down here, we've got some more space here as well. It looks like we might have the builder here. You mind sharing a few words about what you've got on display?
Sure, hi, yeah, I'm Alec. This is Neo-Classic Space Rover. It's got suspension, and the front section can fly off. It's like a shuttle pod. And just put that back. And then this rear module here, that opens up. So you just open the back door there, and got the people inside. So yeah.
Cool stuff, yeah. Awesome, thank you, appreciate it. So we'll move down here then. Some more cool space. Are these your builds here?
They are, yeah. Hi, I'm Tim. What we got here? We got a couple of we've got an ice planet and some Space Police and Mtron. The ice planet all comes apart if I can demonstrate. So front pods come off, the wings open up, and then we've got doors at the back. On the top here we've got a rocket launcher. This is just like the original Icon 4 set from the 90s. I've called this as Icon 6. This one's got a full interior, which it doesn't have in the original set. Then we've got a hangar at the back. We've got doors here as well. They slide out, the ramp comes out, and the little ski mobile comes out the back. So that's all, lots of modularity, it all comes apart as well. That was a good fun build. This is my latest thing, this is an Mtron Vic Viper. It's got a nice underside, it's quite a nice sort of insecty feel, which has come up. Now we're on to the Goliath. This is a year old now, but it's not been to this show before, so I thought I'd bring it along. You can see the insides there, there's the cockpit area. There's a big hangar at the back, which doesn't have anything in at the moment, but there's it's full interior. You probably can't really see that. Yep, we're moving on. Got some new mechs. I haven't named these yet, but this is a new sort of colour scheme that I just came up with, and I think I might build a few more of these sort of guys. Moving along, we've got my multicoloured fleet. This is my attempt to start using some of the more unusual colours that I don't normally build with. So each ship's got a nice bright colour combination and hopefully something that goes together. Then we move along a bit further. This is my section of the Brick to the Past display for this year. Unfortunately all the guys couldn't be here, so we can't have the full display, but I've got my Anglo-Saxon Hamlet. This was a nice change for me. Normally I build spacey stuff, but this year I've had a go at some sort of history and countryside and stuff, so it's good. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's come out, and I've got some nice comments. Then finally I've got some MIDI scale Star Wars stuff. I've got a couple of X-Wings from the original trilogy and a couple from The Force Awakens, and I've just finished this TIE Fighter recently. That's a bit of a crazy build. The wings are just mental. There's all sorts of weird combinations there, but that's come out really well as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my display.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think those look good, and it's cool to see you building, in the space stuff, and then like you said, moving into a completely different area with the historical builds. But I think all of it looks good. So very good job. Thank you. Down here we've got some more really awesome space stuff, and is this your builds here? Okay, you mind coming up here and just sharing a few words with us about what these three ships are?
This is my own design.
Okay.
This is my fleet. Bomber, interceptor, gunship.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, and is there any particular inspiration for these as far as kind of what you based them on, or just kind of in your head what you thought would be cool?
Just that I found that in my head.
Okay.
Basically.
Nice. Well, good job. I think they turned out great. And you even got some custom kind of cards there, like a mock card sort of on the one there.
Yep. Okay. So it's my fair convention here, so I am a beginner with Lego.
Yes. Very good. Well, I think they turned out great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Here you've got a couple of cool Star Wars builds. On the right, you might notice the, I believe that's Rey's speeder from the newest Star Wars movie. So that's cool stuff there. And did you do these builds, or this one here?
This is a recreation of a chunk from the Starkiller base. Okay. So as you can see, every single room inside the build here is a recreation of a scene from the film. As you can see, we've got the final duel between Rey and Kylo Ren on the top there, and I'm sure Star Wars fans recognise all of the other scenes inside. Yeah, that's what this is. It has a website. You can see the link down there. Also follow it on Twitter, and yeah, just looking forward to sharing it with fellow enthusiasts.
Yeah, very neat. So this is kind of like the Death Star official Lego kit that has all the different rooms in it, but right, but this is that principle of using the rooms to show different scenes from the movie. So that's very cool. Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep moving down here. You can see the new Beatles Yellow Submarine kit there. Comes with the 4 Beatles minifigs and the submarine. The Caterham there that I mentioned earlier. Some more cool train stuff here. It looks like you've got kind of an old mansion there. I think we have Abraham Lincoln on the balcony. Fun little scene there. We've got some underground lights going on here, so some great lighting. as the trains pull into the station there. They're working on the skyscraper there, and I'm sure if you've been to any major city, particularly I was in London before I came to this show, and I heard one person there describe it as the city of cranes, which based on the amount of construction, I think might be a good way to describe the city right now. So you can see that might be what inspired their building there, because there is in London right now a lot of construction going on. And then keep coming this direction, you've got kind of a loop of several trains. Looks like you got 3 different loops there with trains just going around the track. So giving a good demonstration how that works. Here you've got what looks to be a tennis court, quite possibly, and the minifigs are even set on motion so that it looks like they're sort of playing a game. Some of the cool white net around the court there, so that's nice. Around here, I believe we have a church. It looks like this might be a church. There's a cool bell tower up there, and then a really nice roof technique with, I think, the cheese slopes on that. And then the way they did the brick is really cool as well, to get all those little details in there to get that brick technique. And it looks like there's several builds along here that kind of use the same technique, where they use the lines of color with just the small, maybe 1 by 1, 1 by 2 pieces, and then cheese slopes on the roof to make the roof and everything. So that's some cool stuff along there. Then we'll come around this direction. You can see the technique I was talking about there on this building as well, with the cheese slopes, and then the small little pieces to create the details in the building walls. So yeah, very cool stuff with all of the city layout there. And then this area right here will finish out this square for us. Just a little more of the city. You can see some cool foliage, some of the flowers and everything they have. Nice little building there. Interesting roof technique. I don't think they use the cheese slopes, more tiles with that. And then some more of the city here with some cool flowers down here at the end. So very good stuff there with that whole city layout. We'll keep moving down this direction there and make sure we get all of these builds in the tour for you. Try not to miss anything here. Starting off with Lego Digital Designer. So this is design and build on your computer. So I think there was a guy doing a demonstration kind of how LDD works here. So that's what he was doing with that, and so people could see if they weren't familiar with the Digital Designer program. Then all along here we've got 50 Years of the Final Frontier. This is by Jacob Walker. So this is really cool. It's different models of the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. And so he did this for the 50th anniversary and made all these models. Lots of nice little details there showing the different variations. So if you're a Star Trek fan, I think you would really like these builds. Very cool stuff. And it looks like there's some that aren't even the actual main Enterprise. You've got like the Borg sphere down here at the end and everything. Cool stuff there. Around here, we've got, this is a really, really detailed build. A French castle and garden right here, which is very interesting. So you can see kind of the hedges in the back with the fountain, and then the king's statue on top there. So that's the garden portion. And then the really detailed building here, the way they did the roof with the black slopes and everything. And then the side of the building using the tiles to give that kind of 3D effect. This almost reminds me a lot of Versailles, actually, outside of Paris. This kind of looks like that with the gardens and the detailed castle building. So that's awesome. That builder did an incredible job with that. I always like those types of builds. Down here we've got a nice arrangement, a variety of different themes here. You've got marine, plant life, and I think we have the builder over here. If you don't mind, you can maybe come around to the front here and just kind of give us a quick overview of some of the builds you've got on display here.
Yeah, it's quite an eclectic collection this year, but So I kind of themed it with the flowers here. This I built for Blocks magazine. It was on the cover of issue 12 as the scenery. But I got asked if I could maybe do some stuff for Valentine's Day that was various flower type things.
Okay.
So I had an exploration, so we ended up with a fuchsia bush, which is like the one I've got out in my garden. And I built some tulips, which I actually did for my mother for Valentine's Day.
There you go. Lego flowers, they last a lot longer than
they do
real
a lot better,
flowers,
although
yeah.
unfortunately you have to dust them. So,
You do.
so there are drawbacks. I've got a little poppy, which I've held on for nearly a year, but obviously it's coming up now that we can finally put it out and be relevant.
Right.
But I've made it so it's wearable. You can take a little clip off the back. If you have a look, you'll see it's just a bar that holds it all together. So all we have to do is take the brick off the back, put it through a buttonhole, you can actually wear it. So.
Okay, neat. So what's kind of the inspiration for people who aren't familiar with the history of that? What's kind of the meaning of that?
In England, we've got Remembrance Day on the 11th of November to remember all those that have fought and died for this country and its values and freedom. And one of the ways that we show a mark of remembrance is the poppy. And there is a specific poppy appeal, and all the money goes to helping ex-servicemen and injured servicemen. So quite important to a lot of people in the country.
Yeah, very nice.
So. And then I did some roses for my wife at the Valentine's Day. And the one you got a brief look of is Snowdrops, which is a nice, beautiful little flower. Looks like a bit like a bluebell, but obviously white. And the butterfly was it was a random thing. I found a jar, and it was sort of a lidded, upside-down jar, and it had a few butterflies on it. I actually built it to go inside the jar, but I managed to lose the base of the jar, so I couldn't bring that with me today. And then you can start seeing the more eclectic stuff as it sort of changes now. There's something I've been sort of undertaking for about 6 months now, where I find it's got to be far enough back in the history of Lego, but I find sets that had a piece that was only used in that set and never anywhere else. This one actually had two. You've got the Ewok glider wing, and you've got a dragon wing from the Vikings Lego.
Okay.
And so I saw that and I thought, okay, what can you do with these less known pieces? And so I came up with this sort of post-apocalyptic camp.
Yeah, there you go. So those work well as like the coverings for the camp tent kind of thing.
Yeah. So the next one along, I really respect people that can do microscale, because I think if you're very good at that, it'll translate up into the big stuff like I do, mostly. But when you start off with the big stuff, it's quite hard to then come down to the microscale. So I always recommend people they build small first, because you get the skills and the detail that really matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be big to be impressive, but the idea is that you can take pictures of this and it will actually just show the space scene behind them. So it actually becomes a photograph that's just of a battle in space. And
right, okay.
I've got some more on the way to be released in the next few months. So
cool.
Yeah. The yellow suit here is the Aliens load lifter from the movie Aliens, the second one in the series. And it's just so awesome as a thing. I just always wanted to build one, and then I had the chance to. And we converted it into Blacktron colours, because I'm doing a big build. It's actually, you'll see it later on with a spaceship and flashing lights and stuff. But we've got all these mechs to populate it, and over time it's going to become a big planet base. But that's where the inspiration for those Blacktron mechs came from.
Okay, very nice.
The next ones are an effort to try and recreate famous sort of artwork in comics, and so this one's Civil War. Obviously there are similarities with the movies, but these are based on the original artwork of the comics. And the next one along is the famous moment where Batman and Superman first met in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of these iconic comic book moments then you try to recreate here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the picture now. He's just gone on with the camera, just to give it that look of what it was.
Yeah, I like how you even used like a black minifig for Superman, kind of gets the shadow really nicely. That
was it. I often get asked about the arm and how it stays out, and it's just using one of those Lego rubber bands. It's hooked around one of the leg supports that go into the body, and then up through the arm, and then you just link the socket of the arm into the hoop.
Yeah, have you seen, is it Guy Himber's Kickstarter project that he did to create the arms that kind of go straight out like that?
Yes, I did see, yes. Yeah, beautiful idea. I kind of like the challenge of only using things that Lego have produced.
Okay, so purists more there.
I totally respect what other people do, because I think it's brilliant that everyone can do so many different ways and enjoy it in so many different opportunities of what it is. But yeah, for me it was how can you do this with what already exists?
Right.
But Guy Himber's crazy arms are very tempting.
They are.
Yes.
They're pretty neat. Yeah.
These scenes were actually, I got asked if I could build a few small scenes for Blocks magazine, so that when they're doing features on customised figures or new Spider-Man figures or superhero figures or whatever they're going to be, they wanted somewhere to photograph them. And so I thought, well, I'll bring along the different scenes that I've done for them. Didn't think about the fact that I don't have minifigures with them because they're just in a box to go to a photo shoot where they've got figures for. So I turned up without them, but thankfully there's some great AFOLs around here, and then all pitched and helped me find a few that were relevant for the scenes. Although I do like the fact that my Black Tron man has a lime green bedroom. I just couldn't resist using one of the ones from our display.
Right.
It's just so inappropriate.
There. Yeah.
So, yeah, try to get a kind of Romeo and Juliet. A West Side Story feel to that one, just to give an idea. But this was built for a Spider-Man figure, and he needed the height for it. And so yeah, it's all about the images, all about trying to take photographs that look like they're in something instead of just white space behind them.
Right.
Yeah.
And down here you've got looks like it's a cool kind of racing scene.
Yeah, the cars obviously most people recognise them as the set, and I got asked to build it for the cover of Blocks magazine. I do it a lot where I try and build a scene or scenery or whatever to go behind them, which is like the coral one earlier. And then I told him while I've been sat on this road idea that you can actually curve the road. I said if you're willing to give me the bits, I'll actually do that for it, and that's the beginning of this curved road.
So what is that technique then, the curved road technique?
Well, everyone's very familiar with the plate and tiles. When you only use ones that are too wide, it has this natural bend and flex as it's 2x2 plate or 2x2 tile and alternate across the connection. And I realised that actually if you keep doing that all the way across, you'll have that flex because the next row of plate and tile won't grip to the first row and so on. And it just allows you to bend it however you want. The real challenge wasn't actually realising you could make the bent road, it was actually fitting it into the scenery. And there's quite a range of different ways that it was achieved, but you can see here the Daleks are actually connected to the plate at the back of the plates. On the other side I used Erlings, which are the headlamp brick, people know that. And the square hole in the back of an Erling then fits into the stud, and then you've got the same effect on both sides for the building out. And the green bricks, they just allow you to hide all the gaps that are immediately following terrain. If you look here, you can see where the gap's hidden, but where the terrain starts, and that was the idea, to keep it as natural as possible. And that took me longer to work out than actually bending the road, along with locking the road in place. So there are lots of bricks underneath the terrain that are directly against the road. So if you take that brick away, the road will just snap out of the whole building because it wants to be straight. So yeah, there is a risk. You could obviously break some of your pieces because you are putting them under tension, but I thought the effect was well worth the effort. So.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Thanks. Most people know me as a history builder, so we get into my more common work. I do a lot of buildings with Brick to the Past, collaborative history building group, and a couple of years ago we did Romans as one of our themes, and the first game that I did was this Roman game just here with these round counters. It's based on a game called Ludus Lumtriculorum, and is a very early game in terms of the development of chess. And then these two we did this year because we did Vikings and the Anglo-Saxon Britain, and the Vikings introduced these two games actually to Britain. Most people will recognise the Nine Men Morris.
Exactly, yeah.
Also known as Mills. But the other one, most people know it as Viking chess. It is Nefar Tafel, which I've got the thing here if anybody's ever interested in knowing more about that particular game. But it is actually really good fun, and it's one of the few games that features imbalances in the number of pieces you have. Yeah, and that's obviously even closer to the emergence of chess.
Yeah, those are great. They're definitely really faithful. I'm more familiar with Nine Men's Morris, like you were saying. I think that's maybe the more famous one.
It's obviously taken a long time for historians to understand the games because they've had to draw together lots of historical text to work out what the rules were. And it's only just lately that Nefar has become playable, and Ludus Lumtriculorum is still in its development, but they seem to have just about got to it. So, yeah, it's good fun to see what there is out there. And this one was, I've always wanted to use this collapsing technique, and I knew I had to do it based on Jericho. So the idea is just the walls of Jericho all kind of collapsing down. And it just uses a whole range of different bending and twisting pieces that you get in Lego. And it's surprising just how strong they are. I mean, the very end one here that I'm just pointing to now, this one is on a 2x1 hinge brick with the hinge at the top of the brick, and it's only connected to one stud, so you can twist it slightly. So that whole thing is held up by a one stud connection on a hinge brick.
Wow!
So it's amazing what the tolerances are. And then, as I said, the micro scale I always found a real pleasure. So I had to have a go, and I was trying to learn it. And this was the other one I did along with the Battlestar Galactica. But yeah.
Very nice, yeah.
That's no problem. And you'll probably see me on the other side later because of the Blacktron stuff as well.
Okay, yeah, so you've got more builds here. Well, thank you. I appreciate you talking us through those. Thank you. So, moving past Simon's stuff then, we've got kind of a long display here of historical Lego kits. So there's all sorts of interesting stuff in here. You'll notice, yeah, an old fire truck. It looks like they've got the old London double-decker bus there. So some really cool stuff there. And yeah, you can see that the box art is very different than what you see on Lego sets today. You've got all the well dressed up kids there over here on this box. You've got the guy in the suit coat and tie and everything. So very different than what you see on a lot of the Lego art today. All sorts of some cool stuff though. It looks like you've even got even different tree designs and stuff that aren't at all like what you expect in a Lego kit today. So lots of cool historical kits all along here. Here's even like a Lego playmat, so some built-in streets and everything. You can set up a whole city on it. This is 1960s Lego town plan. So there's some mocks mixed in here and everything, and so this would be like, if you were a kid in the 1960s, you might have had a Lego town similar to this. So yeah, that's some very, very interesting historical kits and everything there. Then here we come down to Blacktron stuff, so that Simon mentioned earlier. This is some more of his display, so all sorts of cool Blacktron little kits and everything along here. And there's some cool lights and everything. I don't think they're on these ships right now, but there's some lights on the bigger display down here as well. So we'll move down and take a look at that here. Can maybe get a quick explanation on how, do you mind explaining real quick what these lights are and how this works on this build?
Yeah, they're from a company called Life Lights, which is actually a US company. And there are two types. You've got fixed ones, which I've got in this small tunnel here. But then the other section has a small microprocessor inside it, and they come with a feature of about 20 or 25 different light sequences you can use, one of which is for the runway, which has just gone off. So yeah, one of the gives you runway lights, which is it's not great engineering for me. It's obviously great engineering from Life Lights to have designed it. It's probably the plug in the bottom, son. No, right the way down.
There we go. Get the technical issues figured out.
Yeah. It's actually quite fun to build, but the difficulty for me doing this particular runway was not just getting the sequencing right, but because I wanted the lights to be paired on either side, so each red and yellow light flashes in sequence. That was actually quite difficult to manage. So there's quite a lot of splitting in the wiring underneath to actually get it so that I could sequence the lights properly on both sides. I've had to rebuild it about 3 times before I got it right.
Okay, well that's neat. Thanks for the explanation there. Yeah, I think it turned out great, so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very cool. So down here, I think we move from space then to what might be a little more familiar to some people. You've got sort of some famous French Parisian landmarks here. So you can see in the middle the Eiffel Tower down here. And then lots of cool buildings and cities all along here. So that's some very neat stuff. Some cool town stuff all along there. On the front, on the right, they even have a cool kind of Egyptian build on the face of that building. So it's all sorts of cool little details in this display. So yeah, that's really neat. And then we'll come over here to this square, and I think this is we'll come around this direction here and start on this end. Right here, this is Brick Central, adult fans of Lego group. So this is kind of a lug right here that did a lot of this work. Starting off with this cool Arrivals of the Rebels. So this is a big Star Wars display. You can see the great big trees, and the cool kind of landing stand right there as well. and all sorts of really cool minifig details in here. Lots and lots of minifigs. Very, very good job by that builder, Daniel Jarvis. Down here, you have, I believe this is, you can get a shot of this. They have leaflets here. This is a Lego Ideas set, or they're trying to get it turned into a set. So it's on Lego Ideas. This is Andy's room from Toy Story. So if that looks like something that you would buy as a kit, I'd encourage you to check it out on Lego Ideas and support it. And you can help possibly turn that into an official Lego kit. And you've got some more Toy Story builds here. So the big claw machine, the space rocket ship claw machine there with all the aliens in the bottom. Then Western Train here. The big Toy Story logo and the Western Train going around. Some great builds right there. This is the Lego Six Field Stadium is what the card says here. So this looks like it's kind of a micro soccer, or as they call it over here, football stadium. So very cool. You don't see a lot of micro builds like that. So there's some cool techniques used in there. That's neat stuff. And then down here, you've got some of the Ford racing, sort of all sorts of different cool custom Lego race cars and everything. You even see the new Sonic the Hedgehog Lego Dimensions card there, in some custom printed Sonic vehicles. So that's really cool. All along here, you can see some more custom cars and everything. Then here you got, this is some, here's a plate of some Brick Sanity custom printed minifigs, and you'll see some more of his stuff all along here. He does a lot of really cool custom printing stuff that he incorporates into these builds here. So tiles, minifigs, anything you can think of like that. Some really great work. And so then behind that, you got kind of this cool sort of pirate display, some castle stuff going on there. And then a whole city down here. This is kind of a sort of a video game shop right here. This is the gaming shop. So you can see that the custom printed Xbox One tiles with video games printed on them. It's really cool stuff. Right here we have the Lego house kit, which many people might be familiar with, being built in Billund. And he custom printed the top of that. So that's cool stuff. And we have if you don't mind coming up here real quick, we can have you just give us a quick explanation of what this is here. So I was talking about some of your printed stuff here. You want to point out a few of your favorites, like some of the stuff you printed?
My favourites, the Adventure Time car.
Okay.
I really like that. I like my Lego house that I did. It's basically just random bits and bobs, like the pub I did with the signs, the little dude with his uniform on. What else have we got? The bus, that's been quite popular. It's got the Brick Live logo on the back.
There you go. So you got the show there, you got the dates and everything. Very cool.
Bit of advertising there. And then the video game shop, which is a little bit over the top, but it's all right.
Yeah, you got the Pac-Man printed stuff there and everything. This stuff is really cool. If people are interested in getting some of this stuff for themselves, where can they check that out?
On the website, which is bricksanity.com, or on Facebook, which is facebook.com/bricksanity.
Okay.
So anything really, custom figures, custom signs for buildings, window prints, which you can't really see because it's quite dark. Anything really.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless. Anything you can think of.
There you go.
And we also did the cars down there, the racing cars.
Okay, yeah, we took a look at those earlier. Yeah, those are really neat. Yeah, some cool printed designs on those. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So, yeah, some cool designs here.
Thank you.
And then, if you want to give us a quick explanation of what do we have going on down here?
This is the Lego Dimensions cards that you collect from doing certain activities around the show.
Okay.
We've set up a sort of a swap table. Well, Nick and AJ have set up a swap table where people can come over and trade their cards in to get ones they're missing. So it's pretty good. It's helping the kids get them all get their collection of cards, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is really cool. I don't think I've been to any other Lego conventions that have had this going on. So this is kind of a cool Lego Dimensions thing that you can do here. It gets kids to to collect all the cards. And then what do you get for collecting all of them?
You get a Green Arrow limited edition poly bag to play in the game, which is quite good actually. It's quite a good one, although there's millions now. So
yeah, well, it's still pretty rare. So yeah, it's still pretty rare. But the kids just want to try and finish their sets off. Once they finish their sets off, they get a poly. So we just do. If we can help them finish their sets, that's what it's all about. It's awesome.
There you go. So it looks like you've got stacks of all different cards.
It's a win-win for it. It's a win-win for everybody. You know, the kids get what they want. The parents get to just not get aggroed by the kids, and everyone wins at the end of the day. So it's awesome.
What's the rarest card? Is there one that's harder to pick up than other ones?
We don't have any of ET. ET's rare at the moment, so he might not be rare at about dinner time, but at the moment he's rare. He's gold at the moment. So if you find an ET, bring it over here. We need ETs.
Thank you. Well, yeah, thanks for setting this up for kids to get the cards. Very cool. Then down here, got really cool build all along here. This is the Birmingham Bull Ring. This was made back in 2003 by Duncan Titmarsh, who is I believe, a really talented builder. He's a certified Lego professional. This was before he became a certified Lego professional. It's based on the iconic Bull Ring Shopping Center in Birmingham. So that's what this whole build is. So they got some really good information on this kind of mock card here. Really cool stuff around here. There's some cool techniques and everything all along here. We'll keep moving down this direction. And get the Superman logo. So some more superhero builds all along this direction. Let's the custom marble maze. So you might have seen our video where we did a live build with the Lego Ideas designer of that maze, and so this is kind of a custom insert someone has made that's Batman themed, so that's really cool. Here you see some of the tumbler and some of the old Batmobiles and everything. Here's Unikitty in Batman form. So taking Batman, another really cool character from the Lego movie, soon to get his own movie, and making it Unikitty there. The, I believe, Wonder Woman logo. That's cool. And then all sorts of neat Batman kits down this direction as well. Oh, there's, I believe, one of Chris McVeigh's Batman sketches. So that's really neat. So if you've seen any of Chris McVeigh's work, he makes all sorts of character sketches, and that's one of his Batman ones there. Right here, see kind of a steampunk Batman. So that's interesting. And then here's a whole big Batman scene down here with the turning logo at the top and the whole base with all sorts of cool minifigs. You got the villains, you got the Batman figures, lots of neat stuff. You got the Batman water vehicles as well. And then here, it looks like we've got some cool builds, and we have the builder right here. So you mind telling us what we have right here?
Well, me and my son basically have designed and built the Land Rover, the 4x4, in the same scale as the Lego Creator range, in hope that Lego put it through the Lego Ideas system. If we get to 10,000 supporters, it goes to review, and you'll see it in the shops. We need the supporters. But like I say, me and my 11-year-old son built it. This is the original one on the turntable that we did as the Lego Ideas, and then we've done the updates with the Defender, and then the Series 2. And the later ones which have all the add-on bits that Lego fans and Land Rover fans have asked us to add on to it.
Yeah, very cool. So this is on Lego Ideas then. What should people search on Lego Ideas if they want to support this?
It's the website on the flyer there. If you go on Lego Ideas and type in Lego Land Rover, they should find it, or the project number, which is on this thing there. Okay. No, fab. And if we can get some more supporters, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. That's really cool. Good luck with the project. I hope it goes well for you. So yeah, very nice. All sorts of cool details in there. Some really nice vehicles here. See the bottom of it there, how it works. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So we'll keep moving down here. We've got some more Lego City here with some cool trains incorporated in it. They've got some raised track in the back there. they've worked on all that, so that's neat. This is kind of an older Lego city, so sort of more basic buildings than you see in a lot of the city. Here is a little more complicated section. So this has a big roller coaster. It looks like you can see the builder might be fixing up some of it right now while it's going on. Do you mind giving a quick explanation on what you're working on there?
Train has snapped.
Okay. So technical difficulties with the roller coaster portion there we're working on. Good luck with that. I hope you figure it out quickly. But this is very cool. The roller coaster was running yesterday and I saw it and it was very impressive. And there's a Ferris wheel. So some more. So we saw another display with some rides earlier. A lot of these are moving and everything. So this is very cool stuff. So that's very impressive along there. And I think that will finish out the kind of main fan builder section for us here. So that's kind of all the mocks that are on display at the show. But there's a whole lot of other stuff that we'll be showing you around the rest of the convention. So now I find myself on the other side of the convention here on a Lego themed bed in the middle of a Lego convention. So this is a very unique experience here. I am with Adam and he is one of the workers here at this booth. So you want to tell us a little bit about what all we have going on here?
Well, yeah, about 3 years ago, coming from furniture manufacture, I have 3 lovely children and they all are massive fans of Lego. And so I designed some furniture based on the Lego concept to just really have some fun with the kids. Okay. And they love it. It's been building the brand in the last couple of years has been fantastic. So we just decided to release this here today to the general public.
Yeah, this is great. So that's how we ended up with a bed here in the middle of a Lego convention. So besides what we see in this area, what else do you sell here, and what other kind of furniture do you make?
Well, we do everything from just wardrobes to desks to modular furniture as well, with the slot system that we've designed that the kids can actually use. I've not actually put this in here yet, but it's coming up soon. But basically any type of furniture you can think of based around a matrix of a particular size, we can basically build blocks of furniture to make whatever storage you like.
Okay. Very cool, thank you. And if you're interested in checking this out, where's the best place to do that?
Well, we have a website, ibrickfurniture.co.uk. You can basically come and look at our showroom in Rutland as well, where we have the furniture on display. But yeah, generally, this is all new for us as well. It's a new thing we've released, so yeah, it's good.
Sounds good. Well, good luck. I think it's very impressive, so I hope you do well within the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So now we'll keep moving on this direction here, and so I'm going to be showing you a whole bunch of the different vendors and some more of the other cool stuff that's set up around here. So the first vendor here, there's several vendors that do really cool kind of Lego related artwork, and so they have frames and everything. Here this vendor does a lot of stuff related to minifigs, and so it's a lot of different minifig art here. And if you don't mind, real quick, do you just want us to give a quick explanation of kind of what inspired you to start doing this type of minifig art?
It's my son's idea. Originally 8 years ago he came up with the idea of customized figures, and it's just taken off. It's incredible. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you. This is really cool. Appreciate it. So yeah, some really cool minifig artwork there that was framed up. So then we come over here. You've got t-shirt sellers. So this is something you see at a lot of conventions. There's all sorts of cool Lego themed t-shirts. So what's your favorite Lego themed t-shirt that you sell here?
Currently I like the red one, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
But
So this is kind of the 2x4 brick design then.
yeah, it's the classic, I imagine. But you know, it's good. It's all good. It's the skull ones, you know, Halloween's coming up and all that.
Right. Yeah.
But,
So you get kind of that Halloween sort of themed. Then you've also got, besides shirts, you've got some banners or.
as well, yeah, they're selling well. It's all, you know, it's all Lego themed. It's all classic. So yeah, it's going well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Cool stuff. Lots of cool vendors here. We'll hit these on the outside. So this is very interesting. This is Base Ace over here, which is kind of a 3D play platforms. And so basically this are play platforms that incorporate Lego, and so you can create all these cool designs off of that. There's some awesome designs here. They even have sound and stuff they incorporate in it. And so there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with this. Very cool designs. Come down here, you've got some more of the sort of minifig. This is redsquarebrick.com. Some more of the minifig art, kind of similar to what we saw earlier. Here is the Blocks booth. So this is Blocks magazine, and so you'll remember Simon, who we talked to earlier about some of his builds, mentioned that he did some builds for Blocks magazine. So this is the magazine that he was talking about. They have a cool booth here, selling all sorts of past issues. And this stuff is really, really cool here. There's if you aren't familiar with Blocks, there's all sorts of cool articles that they write about and cover different parts of the Lego community. And then keep moving on down here. We hit some of these vendors. This is Fab Bricks Personalized Lego, and so as you can see on their banner in the back there, you can print your name on a minifig, and so you get some cool personalized Lego minifigs doing that. So this is really neat. Can you give us a quick explanation of what it is you do here?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we've got lots of different bits. You pick your head, you pick your hair, and you pick what colour torso and what colour legs you want. We add a bit of magic. You give us your name, put it into our machines, and it comes out. You get a lovely little personalised minifig, and it's totally awesome because that's what we get, isn't it?
Yeah. So
we've also got some great stuff here, which is on our website. Some Christmas torsos, custom printed, and when you go on the website, it's all illustrated. So as you change the bits, it actually makes it in front of you. You get a live view of what you're creating. It's absolutely brilliant.
Very cool. And so you do this on site as well. So you've got the printer and everything.
We're doing it on site today. Yeah, you can just come and get us. Come and do it now.
Okay, appreciate it. Very cool stuff. Thank you. So then down here, so that's something I found that's interesting about the show is so many cool, unique vendors. There's a really, really nice variety of vendors here. You can get almost anything Lego related that you can imagine, and I like that. It's interesting to look around at these. So here's some more art, but this is more kind of mosaics here. So this is Brick Lad. So do you mind giving us a quick overview of what you have here and kind of what you're selling?
We're selling, mosaic sort of pixel art frames and family frames that we take orders for, and lots of cards and minions, and then some poly bags and baseboards and things like that.
So what inspired you to start doing kind of this framed kind of Lego pixelated art?
This is my husband's. He's into Lego. So it's all my husband's work with the frames.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then on this side, we've got some more. So this is kind of more, this is scenes from movies and comics books and stuff. And here they incorporate more of the artwork and stuff with the Lego builds. What I like here, you can see this Hulk build. He's kind of breaking through the frame. That's really neat. There's Harry Potter. You've got some Hobbit, some Lord of the Rings. So this is really interesting, kind of adding a twist with the artwork and the Lego combined. And then if we come over here. So is this your booth here? Okay. You mind giving us an explanation of kind of what you've got going on here?
Right, this is basically a hobby that as of 4 weeks ago turned into a business. Okay. So I've literally just started out. So this is basically the beginning. Okay. I've literally gone official as of 4 weeks ago.
So brand new. Well, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of this stuff. I've been looking at this over the weekend here and everything. It's so cool. What kind of was your inspiration for this? Because you kind of have the Lego, but you also incorporate it with artwork and things like that.
Yeah, I think what it is because I'm quite a bit of a Lego buff. I've decided that when I'm going to put a figure in a frame to keep it, I might as well do a whole scene to go with it because it looks a bit smarter, because most of these are on my own wall. So unless it fits on my wall, I won't sell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are a couple of your favorites here that you really like?
Definitely the I Am Your Father with Luke and Darth, because I just think it's such a classy scene. And really, most of the Star Wars stuff because it's quite adulty. And the one that is definitely my favourite is Space Invaders.
Oh, okay.
Very retro, and luckily for me, most of the dads understand it, so the dads buy it. That's fine.
Right, so you got Star Wars and yes, very cool. I like that. That's a neat design. So can people pick these up online then, or?
They can. It's usually best to go onto my Facebook page, Darren's Brick Art, because I do more bespoke requests where people request specific things. This is a kind of me just being fancy. Yeah, but I prefer it when people request things for birthdays and weddings, etc. So I've actually done themed somebody's wedding, totally Lego, which was quite cool, which I quite enjoyed. It was more fun for me. I didn't even want to charge them because I was enjoying it too much.
Yeah, well, these are awesome. I think you did a great job. So good luck with it in the future. I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Then over here you've got, this is some more traditional vendors here as far as the kind of custom minifigs and stuff. You see a lot of these types of vendors. So there's some cool stuff here. You got kind of the cool banner here, building history, kind of the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima. And then come back this direction, make sure we hit the rest of these vendors here, because like I said, there are a lot of interesting ones. Try not to miss any in the maze of all the people and everything here. So here's a geeky cool. This is jewelry. So kind of all sorts of different types of jewelry here, which is really interesting. We've got bracelets with minifig heads, earrings, all sorts of cool stuff here, and it's very creative. It's a different kind of Lego building here. So this is really neat. So what all do you have here? What was kind of the what inspired you to start making Lego jewelry?
Well, I love Lego and it's just so fantastic. And I thought, why not wear your jewelry? Why not wear your Lego? Wear your Lego. So you can just go out wearing your Lego. Fantastic. And there's so many lovely colours and different designs that I can do. I love that. Yes. Yes, wear your Lego.
That's right. So what would you say are some of the more unusual pieces you have here? I noticed, is this like a necklace with a crocodile on it?
It's a crocodile, and then we have the octopus, like very steampunk. Some of the figures, the minifigures, we turn into necklaces. So there are some quite unusual ones. We have the princesses. Some of the princesses. Oh, and the Disney collection, which is sold out mostly now. So we have some of those. But I think the most popular thing are our bracelets with the Lego heads and the minifigures and the earrings. Yes, because they're so easy and light to wear and colourful. Yay!
They are very colourful, so that's neat. Thank you. Great products here. Appreciate it. Cool stuff. Here you have some more, this is more traditional artwork inspired by Lego. So instead of incorporated actual Lego minifigs into it, this is paintings and artwork of Lego minifigs. There's all sorts of cool designs here. So this is another very interesting kind of spin on the Lego related products here. So you've got the larger paintings, you've got smaller cards over here, some of everything. So what's your favorite product that you sell in the store here?
Probably the most popular one is Deadpool. Okay. Yeah, or Harley Quinn, which is over there. And my stormtroopers tend to go down quite well. So yeah, we've got a bit of everything really.
Do you paint these and do this artwork yourself then?
For me, yeah. They're oil on canvas, and then I get them professionally copied. And basically, once I've got the image, then I can put them on mugs and coasters and prints and things and cards. So it's a bit different, yeah. But they seem to catch people's eye.
Yeah, these are great. And so how did you decide to start doing this? Is this just minifigs that you liked, or were some of these commissions that people were like, I wanted you to paint a certain minifig?
I collect retro toys as well as Lego, and I did quite a few retro toy paintings, the old Space Hopper, and I did a couple of pieces of Lego, the old Spaceman, and he just went a bit mad. And now I get people commissioning themselves as minifigures. So I do family portraits and also bride and groom for wedding presents, things like that. My favourite is the Stormtrooper. Yeah, I like doing quirky Stormtrooper paintings. But yeah, and the mascot ones are fun, the bunny and the chicken guy and things like that. Yeah, so they seem to catch people's eye. It's going well.
Thank you, I appreciate it. This is awesome stuff. Good luck. Okay, and some more vendors around here. We can hit to the right here real quick. This is minifigs.me. So you might be familiar with them. They do some really cool custom minifig stuff. There's all sorts of neat designs that they've done. They've got minions and anything else you can think of. There's even some Adventure Time stuff that they've got advertised there. So just if you're ever looking for custom minifigs, they're a great company to turn to. Here's funky 3D faces, and so this is something that's very interesting. I've never really seen anything like this before. This is a vendor that I believe makes 3D minifig faces.
We've been 3D printing for a while, and we make things like architectural models and bones. My son's got a fascination with Lego for years and years and years, so we were sat at the computer one night, and there was a little minifigure sat on top of the screen. And I just thought, I wonder whether or not I could actually make something with our 3D printer to look like his head. So it took a few months of trial and error, and then we make them from photographs, and as you can see, this is what we make now.
Very cool. And if people want to get one of these for themselves, is there somewhere online they can go to get one made?
Yeah, you can go to funky3dfaces.com and you can do it all online. It's dead simple. All you have to do is upload 2 photographs, one from the front and one from the side, and it takes us about 2 to 4 weeks to make it.
Sounds good. Thank you. I love it. Good job. Keep going around this way. Here's Brick Storage Solutions. So is this then, so I know obviously any Lego fans out there, storage is always a major thing, and a lot of people have kind of their preferred storage way or whatever. So what do you have here, and how does this work?
This is a professional really kind of storage solution. Okay. We got the side, see that's the interlocking system, so you can build the extension unlimitedly as much as you need to. The best thing is if you fill it up with the bricks, the weight doesn't come down to the end. So even the very bottom one, you can still draw out really easy. Capacity, that's 1,000 pieces of bricks. If you sort them really in a nice lane, 1,290. That's really good capacity. Same design ID, you can find them in no time. Right? So that's the best solution ever seen.
And here it's really sturdy, and it's very sturdy when you build up. Just give it a shake, you see. It's very, and I think we should have a look of this here. You see, it's fill up. It's very smooth here. Yeah, this is really amazing. Yeah, for most Legos, when you put everything from top to bottom, then you need to take it out to get the very bottom pieces. This really solve this problem.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Cool stuff. So then back around here, this is a massive booth along here. So this is the Fire Star Toys booth, which is another large minifig seller, and they sell all sorts of cool minifigs, minifig accessories, parts, custom printed parts, anything like that. There's really neat stuff here that you can pick up. So this is a whole long booth along here. You can build your own minifigure, so pick up your head, your torso, and your legs and everything, and do that all yourself. Then turning around here, we've got a couple of vendors selling some sets and stuff, so some more traditional vendors that just sell maybe out-of-date sets or whatever it might be to people at the convention. So you can see all of this. As you can tell, there's a lot of public around here, so this convention is staying busy, which is good. I know the vendors appreciate that. Here is some collectibles, so this is kind of sets and parts of sets and things like that. There's giant Mixel shop displays in the top there. That's very interesting. Mixels and the Simpsons minifigs. It's like collectible minifigure displays there. That's pretty cool. Then back here we have the vault, selling some more sets and minifigs, things like that. Here's a cool vendor selling large kind of Lego bricks. I think these are used for storage bricks. So you can build actual walls and designs from the bricks that you use to store your smaller Lego bricks in. So they've even got the round 1x1s. I don't think I've seen those before. Those are really cool right there. They've got every type of brick imaginable. They even have some Lego water bottles and everything. So once again, very unique vendors here with lots of cool products. And while we're at it right here, next to me is another very interesting part of this convention. We started on the bed earlier. Here we have a Lego shipping container, and so you can see that there's a couple studs on top. They've got a yellow one and a red one. It's like a 1x2, and they're massive shipping containers turned into Lego bricks. So just kind of unique, cool stuff like that, just on display in the middle of the convention here. That's cool stuff. We'll go around to the other side here and continue talking with some of the vendors that are over here. Another thing you might notice, and this is kind of the first time we've come to it, there is a lot of food vendors here. So that's very different than the shows we usually cover for you in the United States. There are, right here behind me, you have Natural Ice. Then there's lots of restaurants that you can buy stuff at. So lots and lots of food options for the people displaying here as well as for the public. So the Natural Ice booth there. Over here, you've got a eye candy. So they sell fudge and all sorts of cool stuff. Actually, this fudge display looks amazing here. So it's kind of I like what you've done with your fudge display here. Is this like almost Lego inspired with the way you've stacked it all up and everything?
Today is fudge bricks. They're not fudge bars, they're fudge bricks.
There you go. So you've got all the Lego fans coming over here and checking out your fudge bricks then. That's very cool. What's your favorite flavor that you make here?
My favorite is the rhubarb. It's got a fantastic taste, so it's brilliant.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You have a good day. So that's fudge. So you can see that's mixed in right next to these other vendors here, which is very interesting. Then you've got a publishing booth here, which is does kind of Lego. You can see some Lego magazines, comics, and things of that nature. Some superheroes, comics, Star Wars, that type of stuff. So that's all really neat. And then here, I've seen a few people walking around with these. This is kind of a fun zone where you've got balloon animals type of stuff here, and people can carry them around like their pets and everything. And then we'll move down this direction because there are some more vendors, and want to make sure I don't get too lost here and try to show as much as possible. So as we come down here to my left, you'll notice brick building area. So this is the green brick pit. There's I think there's at least 3 or 4 different colors of bricks, and they're all in these pits here. There's like purple, there's green, there's a red pit. And the way this works, kids can just sit in the pit and build whatever they want. And you'll see all these creations stacked up around here. And so this is really cool. It's a great activity for the kids to get involved and be building stuff while the show is going on. Down here, some more vendors. This is Finding Lego. Sells sets and minifigs here. Bricktivity, some cool minifig display stands, which I believe are all brick built there. That's very cool. I like the way they've done that. So I think all of are all of your minifig stands brick built here?
I'm sorry?
Are all of your minifig stands brick built? Are those all Lego pieces to create that?
Yes, they're all from sets. We parted it out, and now we sell only minifigs on shows.
Nice, good job. Yeah, cool. And then minifig for life. So some more cool minifigs back here. And I think that just about wraps up the vendors for us. Now there's still a lot more of the convention to show, but I think that was all the vendors. So we'll then head this direction. Try not to step in front of anyone's photo there. There is a giant Hulkbuster Iron Man Marvel armor over there, so that's very cool. So this is what we're about to go into here is the Toys R Us booth. And so another fairly unique, cool part of this show is the fact that there is a massive Toys R Us booth here. And they are showing off kind of the newest Lego products and all of that. And showing, kids and families what's some of the new stuff that'll be coming out. And there's also sculptures in here, so we'll show some of that. So if we come in here inside the store, you can see right here, there's a cool Lego Duplo car. So this whole car is built out of Duplo. That's neat. Then over this direction, you see Lego Firefighter sculpture. And they've got all sorts of, every Lego product you can imagine in here. And they do different sales and deals that they have going on during the show for people. You've got, here's Christmas is coming up. You've got some advent calendars, Friends, Star Wars. And then back here you've got a Star Wars character. We'll loop back around through the store here. Trying not to get it in too many people's way. This is very crowded, obviously, with the Lego section. Here's a Lego policeman. Lego City, big minifig there. And looping back around here, we come back to the beginning of the store. As you can see, they've got the big blue bins for you to fill up with all your purchases. Come back to the car here. So that is the Toys R Us store here. So they've got quite a large store just for people, public, anyone who wants at the show can come in and make purchases there. Now, we move back this direction towards the sort of side back wall here of the show. You've got another one of the brick pits I mentioned earlier. So this is the blue brick pit. And once again, the kids can sit in there, enjoy the builds and everything, and get creative with the bricks. Over here, we have what is one of the most impressive models at the show, though I feel like it's kind of in a class of its own. This is, as you can see on the sign, the world's biggest Lego ship, and it is a Guinness World Records record holder for the world's biggest ship. And so this thing is just incredible here. All sorts of massive amounts of bricks in here. Real quick, do you know how many pieces are in this build?
1,015,000.
Okay.
1,015,000 bricks. It was built by 7,000 staff across 20 different countries all across Europe, all from DFDS.
Okay. And so that's like a shipping company then, or?
Yes, it's a ferry company. We do freight, we do customer ferry, and we sort of do like packaged mini bricks, that kind of thing as well. We've got locations in the UK. We go from Newcastle to Amsterdam. We go from Dover to Dunkirk and Calais, and New Haven to Dieppe.
There you go. So this is a massive ship. It's from that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very cool. So there is a look at that. We'll definitely have a more in-depth video on this massive build for you as well, so you can get more details on that. But there's a quick look on the tour here at that incredibly huge build. Then here we've got kind of a section on the sort of history of Lego. There's some historical builds here. There's sort of a theater in this area, and they just have different sets from different time periods on display. The video playing there is an animation that Lego produced on the history of the company. They kind of showed how they grew over the years. So that's worth watching if you can check it out. Here's some of the original wooden toys right here. So the original Lego wooden toys. Then right here we've got the giant Brick Live stage, and so there's a variety of activities that take place on this stage throughout the day. You can see all the seating for the crowd. This is where some of the builders will come up and do like live builds, and people will challenge them to do builds of different types of things. There's Toys R Us, employees will come over here and talk about the latest products and everything. So all sorts of cool stuff happens on this stage, and plenty of seating for people to sit and enjoy the entertainment there. So it's a very cool setup there. Let's come back this direction. Still lots of cool stuff to show you all along here. We've got some great, as we have a tradition of showing you the trash cans, I feel like this is a good time to do that. So here we've just got two, so not too many of them. Your general waste and your mixed recycling, green, black, so it's very easy to tell the difference. So I feel like those are always needing to be pointed out. Over here you've got the giant, so this is like bigger than Duplo. This is the massive, I believe, kind of rubbery bricks here. So different than your normal kind of Duplo or smaller Lego bricks. So these are for the even smaller kids to be able to play and roam around with. So very cool stuff there. Over here, the red brick building area. So I think this is the third brick pit we've covered so far, and lots of kids having fun there as well. It's a really great way to keep the kids entertained. Building massive towers. You've got like a ziggurat type of thing going on right there. All sorts of creativity coming out here. Some kids are building like builds that are taller than themselves over there. That's pretty amazing. So then back down here, we come through this area. You can see people eating. So as I mentioned earlier, a lot of food vendors here. We head back this direction next to our Lego shipping containers. We got a couple more cool areas on this side of the convention I wanted to show you. First, we'll go into the FLL here. This is the first Lego League. And so this is kind of robotics and that type of thing. You might be familiar with some of their work. So I think they have a workshop competition going on in there right now. You can hear the announcer. And they're talking.
Cleared some blocks.
It looks like they have a robot that they built there. And
I like the way you're taking that one with you as well. Look at this.
it's at work doing the whatever challenge or competition they have set up for it. All of the kids are paying close attention. So it looks like there's a lot of fun being had in here. Very cool stuff. It's always neat to see the FLL booth set up for kids to get involved with the robotics technic side of the hobby. Out here we have, I think the best view, we can come over here to get a good view of it. This is a large map, and what you can do is tell them where you are from, and they, I believe, you will build your house or a building that you want on the area that you are from, and they will put that building on the map for you. So as you can see, it's populated by all sorts of buildings, and we can see if we can catch one of the workers here real quick to give us a quick explanation of how exactly this works here. So let's see. Do you mind real quick? So how exactly does this work for the kids?
Right, we've got a map of Great Britain and a load of Lego bricks, and what we ask people to do is build a model of their own house, and then we put it on the map where they live. And then if they live in Birmingham, we get as near as we can, because it's getting a bit crowded around there at the moment.
Yeah, I imagine with the show being in this area. So what are some of the other popular areas that generally get most crowded on the map?
The southeast, London, around there is getting a bit crowded. But we do, if you go further north, we do have a Loch Ness monster in the sea, and we do have a couple of lighthouses right at the top of the country as well.
Very cool. And at the end of the day, what happens with all this then?
Well, you promise you won't tell anyone this. We keep some really good models for tomorrow, but unfortunately we don't have enough Lego bricks or enough space to keep everything for the 4 days, so we do have to break some up and recycle them so that tomorrow's guests can have fun as well.
Yeah, wipe the map clean and refill it the next day.
Pretty much, yes.
That's understandable. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So you can see all of the kids and adults hard at work designing their homes or buildings that they'll place at wherever they live in the country here. So that's really neat. That's a cool feature, another way to get people involved. Then you can see to my right, this is another Lego shipping container. This is a blue one, and I believe the front of this has been turned into a sort of theater. So you can see the curtains pulled back. There's lights. They have I think a Lego Batman movie going right now. You've even got seating and everything for people here. So that's really nice. You know, again, just you can see all these activities for the kids to get involved. So come back this direction, and real quick to the left here we have a giant pumpkin build going on.
Yeah, so we're building a giant pumpkin off the small one in the middle over there. Okay. So we've got all the children here building big ones. So a little 2x4 becomes 4x16. Okay. So those are the bricks that we're using to build that big pumpkin over there. So it's hectic. It's just manic. So yeah, 2-man job, but we're enjoying it. We love Lego, so so that's why we're here. So that's great.
There you go. Yeah, and you get the giant pumpkin build up over there. That's awesome.
Winking, so if you go around the front, you'll see he's winking at this moment in time. So if you go and have a look, you can take a snap. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Take care.
So we'll go around to show you the front of the giant pumpkin build here, and they've got the mouth in. They're starting on the eyes there. Traditional kind of carved pumpkin look. So yeah, as he said, you get the public involved building the smaller 2x4s into larger blocks and putting together the big pumpkin. Cool stuff. And heading back down this way once again, we get to another brick building pit, which is the white pit here. And they also there's a couple areas that are also kind of more architecture themed. So this is just kind of random white bricks, but there's also a white brick area that is inspired by kind of the white brick architecture kit that is designed little fancier tables and stuff to display more architecture themed builds on. And then down here we have, I believe this is the Fairy Bricks mosaic area. And so right here, Fairy Bricks is a great Lego charity. And over here, they're building a massive, I believe, Halloween themed mosaic. So we'll come in here real quick and see if we can't talk with someone about the mosaic and what they're working on here. Okay, so here we are in the Fairy Bricks setup where they're building a giant mosaic. We'll get an explanation here on how this works. So if you want to tell us what everyone is working on and how this will all come together.
Well, this weekend we've been rebranded as Scary Bricks. Okay. It's Halloween, and you can see just over there it's getting a little bit bigger. And over the course of the day, the guys are going to build it, and we'll have a fantastic image for you at the end.
So, and this is, how does the building process work? It looks like you've got all sorts of tubs of bricks around here.
Yeah, the people just pick the bricks as they need them, and then just get them on the plates. Fingers crossed, they get it right. It's the public, so they often get it wrong. But hey, that's why we're here. We're the experts.
That's right. You fix the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got just the top of the mosaic over there right now. You got scary fairy bricks, and then you'll have a cool kind of Halloween themed design as it continues.
You can just see the top of a wand starting to appear there, so that might be a bit of a clue with the general fairy bricks theme. But yeah, it looks pretty cool when it's finished.
Very neat. And so how long does it usually take throughout the day to put this whole thing together? Is it completely built by the time the public leaves?
Yeah, we'll build it all today, and then I'll go and bully the AFOLs and kick them over here and say, right guys, now you're going to work even harder, and we're going to take this apart. And we get it stripped down in around about 90 minutes tonight.
Okay. And then you're also doing things to raise money for the charity as well, right?
This is our tombola over here, and you can see we've got a line just to the side. And people pay £2, and they are guaranteed at least a minifigure. They might get a poly bag, or they might, if they're really lucky, win the Christmas train over there.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I hope this goes well for you. Cool setup here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
So that's the Fairy Bricks, or Scary Bricks as it's known right now. We'll continue on around here. Head out of this booth. You can see to my right the coffee stand. So once again, some great food and beverage options all around here. So then I think for this portion of the tour, I'm going to head back over here where we first started to the iBrick furniture stand. I'm going to take a seat at the fancy Lego desk with the Lego dressers around me here. And I hope you enjoyed this portion where we talked to vendors, showed you the Toys R Us store, the world's largest Lego ship, all sorts of cool stuff. There's one more section of the convention floor that we have left to show you, and then that'll be the complete tour. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Now we're here at the final part of the tour of Brick Live in Birmingham, England, and I'm starting this part in front of Warren Elsmore's model of the National Museum of Scotland. So lots of really cool detail, really long model here, all sorts of, you got kind of the older building on the left here, and then what looks to be the newer building on the right. He's got nice details, like there's a wedding taking place up here with the wedding photographer. And then if we go around the back here, there's some really neat stuff as well with lots of details from the inside of the museum. This looks like there's cards here. So this left part is the Scottish galleries that you're looking at here. Then this section, art, design, fashion, science, and technology galleries right here. And so you can see kind of the top, you've got the wheel and everything there. And then over here is the grand gallery. And so you've got, big pillars and all sorts of cool stuff on display. Very nice architecture. Then here's the natural world galleries, and he used some Duplo animals, some of the big dinos. He's got camels, polar bears, all sorts of neat stuff there. There's a guy with spiders attacking him. That's not good. So that is the National Museum of Scotland. Now we'll make our way over here. We've got the racetrack. You can see kids hard at work building, and here first, second, third with the big golden trophy. I don't know if they drink the milk like they do at the Indianapolis 500, but I think that'd be kind of cool if they do. Keep coming through the racetrack here. Over this direction, we have, this is the big Lego Dimensions Lego Star Wars stand. And so this is done by Warner Brothers to show off the new Lego Star Wars game on the PS4. And then also new Lego Dimensions characters. They have the green arrow that they're showing off and all of the cool Lego Dimensions kits that are available. So people are demoing the Star Wars game, demoing Dimensions, all sorts of neat stuff like that. And we're going to have a more in-depth video for you guys on how all this works as well. But for now, we'll keep moving through. One thing I wanted to point out here, there's some really cool photographs that are on the walls here. Some really nice, well-done Star Wars-related photos. Some funny, some more serious, some are kind of screenshots from the movies, whatever it might be. So they did a good job decorating this booth and getting it all set for the public. There's also some cool builds here. So you can see a big wrecked spaceship there. That's really neat. Over here, you've got what at first glance might be minifigs on a base plate, but is actually a scene from the latest Star Wars movie. So cool stuff there. Some more really awesome Star Wars photographs on the wall over there. So we'll keep moving this direction then. And we've got some Lego Dimensions minifig builds on their stands here, showing off some of the cool stuff. We've got a Ninjago character, Wild Style on the left over there. Then you got Batman, Scooby-Doo. I think that's Back to the Future. Maybe a Marty McFly. And you got some Simpsons, some Gandalf, Lord of the Rings stuff there. That's really neat. Move around the Dimensions stand. And come over here to the dance zone. And so this is the Friends themed area. So they've got stuff you can do Friends related builds. And then there's like a dance zone stage area that the kids can have fun playing around. They got music going and stuff usually. You've also got some cool Friends builds back here. So this is the purple area of the convention. Cool gold stars, nice stage. Well, we're checking out. Then you come over this direction and you've got the graffiti wall, as it says on top of these triangle build areas. And basically what this is base plates attached to the sides of the triangle here. And then you can just build your name or whatever it might be. Here's Jack. There's like Nemo. You got a fish there. There's a tree. Someone just said, I'm here. So you just got these base plates stuck to and you can build whatever you want. It's good stuff. All sorts of base plates stuck to the walls here. Lots of kids enjoying this. Just let their imaginations run wild. Tubs of bricks, 2x2s. Lots of colors to choose from. So yeah, a graffiti wall there. Here's something you might notice. There's a lot of these big bricks around the convention. So they do this to decorate and they're all over the place. It's kind of a nice way to set off different areas. And they're pretty massive. I think this thing's taller than me. So that's pretty cool. And it's just a nice, fun decoration. Now we're going to take a look at a few builds by Bright Bricks, which is a group of builders here in the UK. This build here is a castle, and it doesn't say, I don't think it has a name for what kind of castle it is, but it's really neat. I like the way that they've done the towers on the corners, the smaller buildings at each corner, and then kind of the main castle area there. They have the grounds done nicely with some flowers. So excellent job building that up there. I'm not sure if it has any interior. Looks like some cool window techniques as well. Then we come to a really great train here, and this train is, I think, Miniland scale from the looks of the characters, and there's so much detail. There's like 3 train cars and then the engine up there. Here's kind of the sleeping car, and so you've got beds, bookshelves, everything like that. Here's a toilet. That's the old style toilet with the chain pole. It's really cool. Look at the detail in the doors, where you can see they did the plates on their sides to get the glass right. Here's kind of the dining car with the bar set up, and so some really nice seats. Everyone dressed up very nicely. I love the tiling on the bar. Gives it a really nice finished look. And even the curtains in the back showing how they cover the windows and everything. It's very cool. And then down here we've got the kitchen, so that obviously leads into the dining area. So you've got a few chefs at work there, the ovens and everything, some more cool window techniques, the fridge, table, everything like that. Looks like a rather large knife cutting the carrot there. Here is where you actually eat the food, so some really fancy seats, really nicely set tables. Over here, these guys with all the candle settings and everything. Very cool. Yeah, this is just a massive train. This might be the biggest Lego train I've ever seen. It's incredible here. And then here we come to the actual, this is the Flying Scotsman is the name of this. So here's the actual engine itself with the coal behind it. And once again, you see it, look at how they did the round technique on the front here with all the different tiles to get that rounded shape. And that green and black mix just looks great on this train. So these are Bright Bricks models, look really, really nice. Definitely add some cool stuff to the show here. Then we've got a few more of these to show you, so we'll keep moving over here. And a couple large models here. I think this might be a cement mixer. So you've got the big tube on the back that spins around, keeps the cement moving. And then they've got some hoses here on the back to spread the cement. Come around here. There's another sort of construction worker there sweeping up some $100 bills. So it looks like he might have just found a big stash of cash over here with his broom. It's his lucky day. Hopefully he gets to keep that. And then here's another massive, this is a cathedral model. Really detailed stuff here. I like how they did the sort of gears and stuff on the top of the spires there to decorate those. That's some really neat techniques there. Then just mixing the tan and gray gives it really, really nice texture with the different greebles all around. So there's a lot of great detail in that build there. Come back down here, we've got the dimension stand again. And then we're going to go over here to some really cool artwork. So this is Amazings, which is this kind of series of artwork done by Dirk Denoyle, who does art with Lego bricks. And so I'll take you through and just show you some different parts. You can see mosaics here of faces, and he does it in all sorts of different ways. So this one here has some 3D parts in the hair. Here you can see this one is actually being worked on still by one of the sort of mini land figs there. Then we come over here and you've got some nice faces. So this is kind of 3 different Lego heads on display in this case. That's really neat. He's got all sorts of different kinds of artwork. Over here we've got 3 more heads. And his busts like this are just amazing. You get some great detail in. You look at the hats here, even like the ties on these models are just really, really well done. He does a great job with this. If you come over here, here's some interesting, I like this one here that's kind of the rainbow effect. So it's kind of set into the white block and has all the different colors there, making the shape of the head with the hat there. And then here is, I believe, an accordion with a face in it, and it's kind of a mosaic that, depending on which way you look at it, kind of changes shapes and stuff, so that's really neat. Some more Lego busts here. And again, notice all of the great detail on the hair, the eyes, and just the subtle things on the faces that make for really nice models. Come around here. Some more great models. Even look at the smiles and the teeth and stuff that add even more detail to them. Here is, these are something kind of different. This is kind of a series of dice that are kind of like the forest one, so it's like a tree over there. This one here is like a cracked egg. And so you see the yellow in the middle there. And then over here is like an apple with the stem coming out the top with the leaves. And then kind of a yellow worm going through it. So those are really cool kind of variations on dice there. Coming out here, another part of the gallery. This is it's like you just got some school children here. So you got kind of three kids in mosaic type build there, and then brick built wall in the back there. So that's really neat as well. Excellent detail in just using those small 1x1, 1x2 plates on the kids there to get all the little details in. And if you come around here, here's a Lego desk. So this actually at first glance doesn't even look like Lego. It's so detailed and all the tiling is done incredible. It's got some studs not on top work there to make the corners and everything fit right. Yeah, that's amazing. Looks like the drawers open and everything. Here's another Lego bust as well. And then over here is a series of 3 windows. So you've got kind of looking out at the earth there. Over here you've got maybe like a plane wing. And then here's kind of underwater with fish and everything. So kind of three images into the world there. In the middle here we have this massive, this is the Adoration of the Magi. And what the builder has done here is, the point of this is that it's kind of supposed to be wise people was the original point with the Magi. And so Dirk de Noyle has kind of changed it up to show the heads of wise people still known today. So you might be able to spot maybe Albert Einstein up there and other famous scientists and wise people that we might be familiar with today. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Socrates, people like that. So there's all sorts of cool people like that, and he's kind of done a parody of the original painting by putting those people in. We come over here, and there's some more cool ones. Here's Fred Astaire, and he's done it with his kind of face in stairs, which is neat. And you've got a frog, and I think like a little mole here, so some sort of more animal characters, which is cool. Got like the brick whack-a-mole sort of thing going on there. Then if we come to this side, you got the ocean, kind of the pier pieces with stuff growing, the barnacles and stuff growing on it, and the big mosaic there. So it's kind of 3D with the posts out here and the mosaic on the wall. Here's one that it's very interesting. There's about 2 or 3 different, most of it is just the one level with the frame around it. And then it's just certain parts that stand out that he does the 3D with, kind of the hand there and everything that are very cool. So he accents different parts with the color and the 3D work. And then over here, I believe this is the start, or the first Lego League kind of robotics logo here. And so you can see the red and white squares there. And then nice lighthouse with a mountain and a cool bus going through there. Coming around this direction, we have a little bit more art to show. So this is Sherlock Holmes. You've got a coin and some more cool head sculptures there, kind of mosaic sculptures. The Sherlock Holmes one is really nice with the pipe and the magnifying glass and his signature hat there. I think that's really neat. And then over here, 3 more head sculptures. Looks like you can see the glasses techniques are neat on these. Again, adding that extra detail to get as much cool stuff in there as possible. And come around this direction. you get, that just about wraps it up for the art. There's a little bit on the front here. Another mosaic here. And then kind of an interesting white building. Almost looks like a skyscraper merged with a cathedral sort of church building. So that's rather interesting. Pretty cool stuff there, all in white. And as you can see, the crowd might be coming in more and more here. There's over here is a nice Halloween area. So if we come around to this side, you've got brick-built cauldron there, the red 2x4 brick, and then all these trees set up and everything to give the Halloween, because this show does take place over Halloween. So they try to theme it a little bit with that. And then let's keep moving this way. That should about wrap it up for us here for this section of the convention. So we can end it right here. The Brick Live stand, I believe that actually does wrap up the entire convention floor. One other thing that I might mention, over here, I wanted to show this architecture section. This is pretty cool. There's an architecture build area where there are white bricks available, and people can build all sorts of cool stuff. Then they set it up on the tables, and you can see some of the models over here on the tables and the bookcase. And so there's just tons of different kinds of white bricks on the tables for people to build with. And then they put it on display here, some of the best models they keep around. And then a lot of them they destroy so that people have bricks the next day and people can build new stuff each day of the show. So this was just built by the public, kids and their parents, whatever it might be. There's really, really good models for people just sitting down and spending a couple hours or an hour on them here at the show. So I think this just about wraps it up for us. We're going to move this way a bit and give you kind of one last look at some of the show here. But definitely make sure to check out the rest of the channel here at Beyond the Brick for lots of other great videos from Brick Live here in Birmingham. And you'll find lots of more in-depth builder interviews along with looks at some of the other unique parts of the show here. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff to check out there. Make sure you look at that as well for more in-depth looks at some of the builds we've shown you along the way. But as you can see, this place fills up pretty quickly when the public comes in and all these activities get going with the brick pits and people start looking at all of the builds and they, helping out with the fairy bricks mosaic and things like that. So it really gets hopping here, and it's a great time once the public comes in and starts enjoying everything that so many people have put time into. The volunteers, big shout out to the volunteers who help with this show and all the Lego shows that we cover, because I don't think it'd be possible without the work that they put in and helping the show coordinators put it on. So definitely big shout out to them. And all sorts of stuff on display here. What is this? Do we have a last minute?
I've been abused, man. They took me out back and look what they've done to my beautiful beard.
Oh no, this is not good. This shouldn't be happening at a Lego show.
No. I need an adult or a police officer.
Someone with authority that can do something about this.
Help me, please.
We'll see what we can do for you, sir.
Thank you.
So, obviously, there's still lots of fun being had here and lots of cool stuff going on. And we'll continue to bring you as much coverage as possible. Thanks for watching the tour. I hope you enjoyed this look at Brick Live in Birmingham, England.